Do you regret not making films earlier in your career? Or do you think it all happened in the right time?
No, that's a hard one to answer because I feel like I'm not a believer of luck, but I am a believer in timing. And I will say I feel like my career has been a combination of being too early or too soon. I wish I was that guy that was making movies at 7 years old, so by the time I'd gotten to 26, which is when I made my first film, I would already have been a skilled filmmaker. But I'm starting at 26, just learning. So in that sense, yes, but where the trajectory of my personal life, I don't know would have been the same. When I was in high school, there was a huge omen. When I was in high school, there was a teacher there. I wasn't particularly good at anything at that point. Two of my best friends had a cable access show, and I would help them with that. And the teacher told them, and I went to a predominantly affluent white private school. I didn't grow up there, but that's where I went to school. So one of their counselors said, USC is doing this thing, this film school introduction. Do you guys want to go? And they're like, yeah, Ken, you want to go with us? I go, yeah, I'll go with you guys. So we all went together, and the odd thing was, these are two white guys. I was the only Latino pretty much in the school. And we go to this USC thing, and it turns out it was for Latino students. So it was the first time they were the only two white guys in this entire group. And then I was there, and there was a huge, the universe telling me, go to USC Film School or do something this way. And I just wasn't in the right frame of mind. I was a very angry and insecure person at that time. And, but I look back on that, and I tell that story in the book too, that there was a huge thing right there. And we had to get into groups and do pitches, and I was just in my element. And my two buddies were like, man, we didn't know you even had ideas and all this. And this. I go, I didn't know either, man. I just felt I felt like I had a community, and I was being validated, and I was never in search of that, but there it was. But I was just too, like I said, I was in a very negative space in high school throughout the duration, so I just wasn't open to it. But had I done that, I wouldn't have met my wife. And that was, that's the luckiest thing that's ever happened to me. I haven't had no luck in film. Everything's been through hard work and just sheer will. But meeting my wife was pure luck, and having that happen. So I don't have regrets in that sense. Do I wish I had more experience going in my first film? Yes, but I don't know that I would have had the same journey, and I look back on my journey, especially writing the book, and I'm really kind of proud of it.
Do you ever feel thankful for the anger you said you had in high school, because that prompted you to want to tell really powerful stories that aren't vanity projects?
No, because it wasn't. High school was very, how do I say? It was like a non-creative time in my life. It just was, it's not something I'll even look back fondly. It wasn't until I got to the theater academy, which was a year after I graduated high school, that I went to this acting academy where I was able to just break myself down. And it was all for acting, but it helped me rebuild myself and be somebody who was creative and who had things to say. So that anger outside of high school turned into, I'm not happy. How do I change this? Let me try this. And then to go to an acting academy where you're the normal one. You know what I mean? So but I was just so inspired by everybody there because everyone was so brave. There were people there who were broke, pursuing their dream. And so that place was such a great place for me creatively to learn the language of acting, which helped me with actors to this day. I mean, I'm proud to say I'm an actor's director. I get that comment from the actors I work with all the time. They all say, you just speak our language. And that's because I know the language. I went to an acting academy. I'm a classically trained actor who doesn't act. I make movies, but I know how to speak with them. And I think going back to an earlier question you said, that's the advantage I think I have over film school students who don't learn that, because to me, it's the art of communication. You can have this vision, you can have this talent, but if you can't communicate it, you got to be able to communicate it to your crew and to your cast. That's my talent. When you have two kids that have asked you a million questions a day growing up, I don't have all those answers, but on set, I have every answer.
When that acting teacher gave you that note, that wherever they gave you that grade and said you would make a great director out of anybody in this class. And you said you were hurt by it or offended.
Well, I was just so like, no, I'm an actor, I'm not a director. You know, like I took it like a negative. You know, again, there was a second time the universe is telling me, hey, Ken, look, you're a director, you're not an actor, you know, and me ignoring that, you know, and it wasn't till I got out of the academy and me and the wife were going out on things that were very uninspiring, and there weren't a lot of Latinos producing anything or writing anything, or even there weren't that many of us in terms of actors. So we're like, what do? We just went to school for this. We started writing, directing, and producing our own plays. And that was out of necessity, but I was starting to enjoy directing more than I was being on the stage. You know, because directing, my instincts were just very fluid, and I knew exactly what to do and when to do it. I knew how to communicate something, I knew how to block something. When I was an actor, I was constantly judging, you know, is this genuine? Is this authentic? You know, I didn't know how to get there as an actor, you know, but I knew how to get other actors there.